Hey man, do you have any ideas how to deal with self-doubt and low self-esteem? Going through a bad breakup, and it took its toll on my self-confidence. Being in the same classes with the girl who just recently broke me and having to see her every day rips me apart, and I feel like I can't do anything about it. What do you recommend? Okay, before I start this story, I just want to say I'm not here to have a pity party or talk about trauma, none of that. But 3 years ago, I had a best friend. 2019. It isn't that long ago. It's actually not even 3 years ago. It's 2 years and 10 months. But it feels like a lifetime has passed since then. Anyway, I had this friend. We met online and he was an artist. I was working on YouTube at the time. We had a lot in common, similar interests, all that. He came up to the East Coast to stay with some friends and look for a new job because he was trying to get away from an abusive family situation at the time. So he's up here for a couple weeks, maybe a month. He can't find a steady job. At the time, I had a 3-bedroom apartment with one other person. So we said, okay, let's have him come stay up here, He got a job at the same place I was working. We were mopping floors at high schools every night, cleaning bathrooms. It was a stressful job environment, but it was keeping me afloat. Volksgeist didn't pay that well back then, so I was lucky to have it. We knew each other before a little bit, but being together every day, mopping floors together, cooking together, eating meals together, going out to parties, we were just hanging out all the time. And we were broke as fuck, man. Domino's was like a luxury to us. There was this Domino's and Crown Fried Chicken around the corner. And we'd be like, what do you want? Crown Fried Chicken or Domino's? That was it. But I was working on my YouTube, he was making music, and we felt like we were building towards something. But at the same time, this guy I was with all the time, I was aware that he struggled with a lot of things. He didn't have it easy. He was raised by Black Southern Baptist parents that were extremely conservative, homophobic. They threatened him with religious consequences for anything he did wrong. He just came from that kind of environment where you aren't given a chance to be yourself, and you're beat down until you feel like you're worth nothing. Even though we had this good little life, trying to get our money up, live the way we wanted to, have friends, get lit, my friend was dealing with low self-esteem. He didn't believe in himself. He had negative thoughts and feelings about his appearance, his character, his future. He didn't think his life was going anywhere, and because of that, he never took any chances to actually help himself out. And sometimes he would talk about, he felt like shit. He didn't really love himself or see how he could make his own life better. But even then, I was still surprised when he went in my room, took a bottle of liquor, drank the whole thing, and swallowed a handful of antidepressants at the same time. Throwing up all over the living room, passing out. I have to call the ambulance. He goes to the psych ward for 2 weeks. Basically, my life at the time was just over. After he got out of the hospital, I had to fly him back to Miami because he was dead broke. I lost my apartment, and I was just broken, man. Watching your best friend try to kill himself in front of you is terrible. You don't get over it overnight. Honestly, it made me lose my way in life for a pretty long time. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know where to go. I felt completely paralyzed and stuck. I was asking myself, what could I have done to help him? I was wondering if I had done something to cause it or even deserve this kind of thing happening to me. In the months after, I stopped having goals. I stopped doing what was best for me. I was lost. I stopped loving myself. But as years started to pass, as I started to heal from what happened, I realized that the way our society sees self-love is completely stupid. When I was at the lowest point in my life, I had lost everything, and I was basically ready to give up on my future. You think what I need is to sit there and figure out a way to love myself? What do I gain from trying to love myself when I haven't even done anything to deserve it? As people, we have to treat ourselves like we would any other relationship. When you aren't doing for yourself what you know you deserve, your problem isn't a lack of self-love. It's just the fact that you aren't taking yourself seriously. If you're someone who's watching this video right now and you struggle with your self-esteem, or you don't love yourself, or you don't have good confidence in yourself, you can't think yourself out of that mindset. The only way to escape that darkness, that pain, is to lift yourself out of it. But most people don't ever get that far. Have you ever been around people with kids and the kid falls or drops something and it's not really hurt? Maybe it has a scrape on the elbow, but he starts crying and screaming and the parent is like, no, it's okay. He needs to learn. They're teaching the kid to identify if they're really hurt and they need help or if they're just scared. Because life is scary, but in every person's life, there are things that will happen to you that no one else can help with. No one else can lift you out of that. You need to have an internal source of confidence and self-esteem and discipline that you can always count on to make the right decisions for yourself. You aren't supposed to love yourself like they tell you to. Loving yourself is being strong for yourself. You can't take care of yourself and get by as a person if you look for comfort every time you feel bad. When my best friend almost died in front of me and I lost everything I had at the time, all I wanted to do was give up on my dreams and who I was, and it was very, very hard to keep it together at that time. If I had loved myself and tried to look for self-esteem at that moment, I would have given up and laid down and died. But if you look at me now, I'm a whole different person. I have more money, more friends, I look better, I've been all over the world, and what I went through back then is a distant memory that I don't even think about anymore. My business is thriving, I'm way more successful than I ever could have imagined at 19 years old. But 2 years ago today, I was sitting in a dark room by myself, wondering where it all went wrong. And if I didn't make the decision to move on and stand up to my weakness, I would still be there today. But no part of getting that back was thanks to loving myself more, telling myself it was all okay, because it wasn't okay. I had to work to get back to where I was. I had to beat up and do shit I did not want to do. I didn't want to think about my problems. I didn't want to think about the fact I was broke. I didn't want to think about the fact I gave up most of my success to just sit and be depressed about what had happened to me through. I've been to the most beautiful places in America. I've been to other countries. I've met so many people. I started working out. I finally feel like I look how I want to look. Life is just better now. It's so much better, but it was a lot of work to get there. Me getting my sauce back only happened because I didn't make it easy on myself. But that's not what self-love means to most people. In our culture today, we talk about self-esteem and confidence next to self-affirming statements like you are loved, you matter, you deserve happiness. But that's a completely stupid and wrong take on life. You deserve to treat yourself seriously and with respect. You have to earn your self-love by being strong when you have no other choice but to be strong. Unearned self-love is empty. I don't get it. You're telling me that when I'm at my lowest moment, when I'm fighting demons and pain and depression, you think what I need is to tell myself it's all gonna be okay? What's all gonna be okay? The fact that I'm broke? The fact that my girlfriend leaves me? The fact that I lost my friends? I have no confidence? I feel like shit every day? The fact that I look like ass when I look in the mirror? The fact that I'm mopping floors for $15 an hour with felons? Whatever your problem in life is, you can't fix it with a band-aid called self-love. When you're down and you can't get up, your breakthrough will only ever come from what you're willing to sacrifice. You are not what happens to you. You are who you choose to become. I know it sounds corny, but everybody struggles. If you're someone who's going through a hard time, the best thing you can do for yourself is accept that this is natural. There's nothing you can do to avoid it. All you can do is move forward and be strong. People ask me, Philip, I'm going through it. I don't know what to do. What do I do, bro? You know what to do. Be strong. The only thing you can do to deal with the inevitable struggle that's coming your way, it's just a truth of the universe. We all understand that we all struggle at some point in our lives, no matter what. The only thing you can do is get stronger. That is the true meaning of self-love. Self-love, self-esteem, and self-confidence will never come from embracing your weaknesses. It comes from chasing the strength we all have inside of us. If I had loved the person I was back in 2019, when I was at my lowest, I would still be weak and lost today. But I'm never going to be that person again. Humans don't learn without pain, so you can't try and pretend the pain isn't there, because life will get you no matter what. We all suffer. What really matters is how we react. Nothing in life is fair, and that's okay. I'm Philip. Thank you for watching.